Good morning, student. 11th account, chapter number 4, sum number 5. Today we will be doing sum number 5, which is the first sum of journal entries in a book. Here the sum is: from the following transactions, write journal entry in the books of Pranjal. So what we have to do here? We have to write journal entries in the books of Pranjal. We have seen the dual effects, the basic information about journal and its specimen we have already learned in the previous videos. Okay, so now today we will be doing practically the sum, the main sum, the first sum. It says introduce 10,000 cash and commence the business. Business is started by owner by introducing rupees 10,000 cash. As per dual effects, that one effect will be cash comes in, it is a real account, so it will be debited. Debit what comes in, we know the rule. The second effect is the owner is the giver. When owner is the giver, his capital account affected. So capital account, it's a personal account, so it will be credited. When we know credit the giver is the rule. So our journal entry for the first transaction will be cash account debit to capital account, cash account debit and capital account credit. We have seen how to write in the format. Let's see how to write in the format. This will be a format. First, journal entry in the books of Pranjal will be our heading. There will be 5 columns as we have discussed already: date, particulars, LF, debit rupees and credit rupees. So the first entry, cash account debit to capital account, being business commenced with cash, and in amount column rupees 10,000 and 10,000. We very well know what is written after the entry. After the entry, this is the narration. This brief explanation of transaction is known as narration, which is needed after passing journal entry. And way of writing we already discussed in the previous video, that the whatever we have to debit, we have to start with. So here we have to debit cash A/C, that is account, and debit DR. And to write credit, we have to start with 2 and just we have to mention the name of account which is supposed to be credited. So here capital account is to be credited, and finally our entry, cash account debit to capital account. Friends, it will be difficult to learn if you are not knowing twofold effects. So make practice of twofold effects, as many transaction you can do. Okay. Now the second transaction. Second transaction says goods of rupees 5,000 purchased on cash. Now goods purchased, the one effect will be goods comes in, and account affected will be purchase account. As we know, when goods are purchased, purchase account is affected. So purchase account and cash goes out. Goods is purchased on cash, no? So cash is going out. So cash goes out, that is a real account, cash account. Right, so cash account will be credited. Goods comes in, purchase account debit, cash goes out, cash account credit. Here the entry is transaction number 2, purchase account debit to cash account, being goods purchased for cash, and amount rupees 5,000 in the column of amount. Okay, now the third one. Third transaction says goods of rupees 8,000 purchased on credit from Rajan. Now as we know, if name of the person is mentioned, here they have directly given the goods is purchased on credit, so no need to explain further. It is clearly mentioned that goods is purchased on credit from Rajan. The two effects will be goods comes in and Rajan is the giver. Goods comes in, purchase account will be debited, Rajan is the giver, Rajan's account will be credited as per rule of personal account. Credit the giver. So the entry will be purchase account debit. This is the entry. Third transaction, purchase account debit to Rajan account, being goods purchased from Rajan 8,000 in the column, both the columns. Okay. Now come to transaction number 4. Goods of rupees 2,000 is given for donation. Friends, donation is an expense. No doubt it is not compulsory to donate anything for any business, but still if there is any kind of donation out of the business, it is considered as an expense. Now we have to keep in mind one thing, that goods of rupees 2,000, goods, now goods is going out, not cash, and for what? For donation. So two effects will be like, the first effect will be that goods goes out, goods goes out, so purchase will reduce. You might have learned this in chapter number 2. If goods is going out other than sales, for any reason other than sales, then the effect will be given to purchase account. Whatever goods you are giving as a charity will reduce your purchase. That means out of the total purchase, that much amount you have to reduce, because the goods has not been sold, it has been gone out of the business other than a reason of sale. Okay, so here purchase account will be affected, and second account will be donation account, as it is an expense. It's which expense? Donation. You may also write it charity and donation, both accounts are considered same. So either donation account will be affected or charity account, and second account will be purchase account. Now how to decide which account will be debited? So donation, it is an expense, and we know donation expense, nominal account, and we know the rule, nominal account debit all expense and gains, debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. So donation being expense, we have to debit, and goods going out, purchase account, we know purchase account is a real account, credit what goes out, debit what comes in. Here goods is going out, so purchase account is to be credited. Again I tell you, keep in mind one thing, this is going to help you again and again. If goods is going out other than purchase, it will be other than sales, it will be credited to purchase account. Again, if goods is going out of business other than sales, then it will be credited to purchase. So here the entry is donation account debit, entry number 4, donation account debit to purchase account, amount column 2,000 and 2,000. Okay, now the narration will be being goods given for donation. Narration is just nothing, it is just a brief explanation of transaction, and transaction we get in sum. So itself you can just copy down the transaction, then too it will be okay. Okay, now come to fifth transaction. The fifth transaction says give order to Shivani to dispatch goods of rupees 3,000. Here friends, we have to keep in mind there is no benefit received, no benefit given, nothing is coming in, nothing is going out, no one is receiver, no one is giver. So this transaction is not an economic transaction. Just merely giving an order doesn't make it transaction. The transaction will happen if the goods is delivered from the supplier. So given order to Shivani to dispatch goods of rupees 3,000, it is not at all a transaction. It is a transaction, but it is not an economic transaction, so we will not be recording this. Instead we will write here non-economic transaction. You can see here non-economic transaction, fifth one. Now sixth one, Shivani has dispatched the goods as per order. Now see, this transaction is about fifth one. The fifth transaction, we have given order to Shivani to dispatch the goods Now here Shivani is dispatching goods. So here we will consider this transaction as Shivani is sending goods. That means we are buying goods from Shivani. Now name of person is there, Shivani. Cash is not given. Cash word is not mentioned. That means this transaction indicates a credit transaction. Shivani is the giver and goods comes in. One effect, goods comes in, purchase account. And second effect, cash goes out? No. Why no? Because here no cash is mentioned. Name of person is already mentioned. Whose name? Shivani. So Shivani is sending us goods. That means we will be considering it as a credit transaction, and the second effect will be Shivani is the giver. That means Shivani account. So finally our entry will be purchase account, debit to Shivani account. Here the transaction, here the entry is purchase account, debit to Shivani account, being Shivani dispatched the goods as per order, and the amount column 3000 and 3000. Okay. Now the last seventh transaction, that is the last one for this sum, paid rupees 2500 for life insurance premium. Friends, insurance premium is considered as an expense, but life insurance premium is mentioned here. You have to assume this is the life insurance premium of owner, because no other information is given, so you have to consider it. This is the life insurance premium of owner. Now life is considered to be personal thing, so this expense will be considered as personal expense, and any personal expense of owner is considered to be what? We know, we call it drawings. Getting it? So here instead of life insurance premium, drawing accounts will be affected. Suppose it is insurance premium only, then we will consider it is a normal insurance premium, maybe of goods, maybe of fire or anything, right? But life insurance premium, that means it is a insurance premium of human being, and here nothing is mentioned. That means we will consider that this is the life insurance premium of owner himself. So owner's life insurance premium is considered to be a personal expense. It's supposed to be debited to drawing account. Okay, so one account will be affected, drawing account, that is it is a personal expense. If you want to know the effect, one effect will be it is a personal expense. One effect will be it is a personal expense, drawing account will be affected, and the second effect will be cash goes out. Here see, paid 2500 rupees 2500. So obviously paid, that means cash is going out, so cash account will be credited. So the entry will be drawings account debit, cash account credit. Here the entry is drawings account debit to cash account, being life insurance premium paid rupees 2500 and 2500. Okay, so here our sum is over. Now what we have to do, we have to make a total of both the columns of amount. So here the total of both the columns comes rupees 30,500. So 30,500 in first column of amount, 30,500 in both second column of amount, and this is our final sum. Okay friends, so this was all about sum number 5 of chapter number 4. Okay, thank you.